Greetings, Asgardian fanatics and friends alike.
I lost the freeze frame. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Oh, I'm so.
Or what we should do is Blue Dragon and. But no, it's. That's kind of how we introduce people in the Marvel films these days.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
There we go. So today's let's recap.
Yes! Dragon, I always had a good feeling about this one, man. I actually won the most recent Disney debate by arguing for this as the most anticipated Marvel movie. And man, I've got some really, really good feelings about Thor Ragnarok. The teaser trailer, of course, just released yesterday. We're going to break it all down, do our good old-fashioned shot-by-shot take on it. I don't know, Dragon. For me, Marvel just continues to get better and better. They just continue to have these...
It's a live-action Pixar.
They just continue to have these, like, incredibly fun concepts. They up the ante. I mean, like, this just makes the first Thor movie look like child's play right now.
Yeah, and I like the first Thor.
And I like the first Thor, too, but you've got to admit, something like this looks like it's like a victory lap for the Thor franchise.
Yeah.
So, Dragon, what was your initial reaction besides just the, the visual we have on screen?
Yeah, aside from I think just collectively we all feel as Chris Hemsworth does in that still image that we're seeing all over the place, and we're aware of that, folks. But it captures it so well. Of course, we've been waiting for Thor Ragnarok. For me, just honestly, just kind of dropped out of nowhere for me. So, oh my God, Thor Ragnarok, it's out now. I gotta watch this.
Yeah, it was like it happened like right before I went to work. And I watched it, and like I swear, I probably like woke my whole family up because like I was like, "Yes! Oh my god! Yeah!"
Because again, this year so far, we've gotten our out of our three big Marvel films. Technically, one of them is kind of a pseudo Marvel film, but you know what I mean. Out of our three big kind of essentially Marvel films, of course, we got Guardians, we got Spider-Man, and then of course the missing contender we didn't expect to see until Guardians, quite honestly. Imagine every time a Marvel film comes out, which I love this, by the way. Marvel always seems to. It's not just Marvel, but let's face it, it's mainly Marvel. The coveted May 5th or first week of May release date, because what they do, Tiki, is the reason Marvel releases a film the first week of May, at least ideally, it's because it ties in the free comic book day, because it moves the merchandise a lot more.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, because people are seeing the film and they're talking about the next day, or like the next day or two, depending if they see it on Thursday or not, at the comic book shops, because the free comic book day and the sales and everything is going on. So it's kind of a really strong strategy. But the point is, any May 5th release date for a comic book film is a big deal. When they do that, they also tease what they got coming next, and that's where I think we all imagine we would see the Thor Ragnarok thing, unless they really wanted to make everyone wait. Like, okay, wait until we get to like August or something.
Oh, you want to talk about waiting, Dragon? Frickin' episode 8.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Did you hear that they're not even going to do a teaser trailer? They're only going to release one full trailer for episode 8.
Is that going to be it, period?
Yeah. Like, apparently that's the situation. It's just going to be one full-length, like, 2.5-minute trailer.
I got to tell you, that kind of doesn't bother me. I just think it's kind of cool, actually.
I do. Like, on one hand, like, yeah, I agree. It's a really cool, like, tactic to use.
The real question is what do they pair it with? That's the real question. All three movies are still on the table right now.
On the other hand, I kind of, like, I just want it sooner rather than later. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but I mean, Tiki, here's what's so funny about it. Let's not turn this all into Star Wars.
Of course.
The funny thing, because we're talking about trailers, it's somewhat tangent.
We're talking about trailers. We're talking about Marvel. We're talking about stuff that crosses over with Guardians of the Galaxy.
So my point is, Star Wars. Let's face it, I think it's pretty safe bet, at least right now in kind of our bookie stage.
So you like Star Wars? You want to talk about Star Wars, The Phantom Menace? I'm sorry, Dragon, go on.
Basically, in the bookies kind of placed in our bet stage right now, I think it's pretty safe to say the one that's going to, quite possibly, from what I'm hearing speculation-wise, I think it's real. I would agree this on full-heartedly. It's going to be the highest-grossing movie of all time, the next Star Wars movie. At the very least, it's gonna be in the top.
I wouldn't place. I mean, I don't want to get into semantics, but I don't know. I don't think it's like if if episode 7 didn't hit the top grossing, I don't think.
No, to be fair, 7 went all the way up there, just didn't knock out the top 2. And to be fair, that's really a high bar to reach. And
I know that's a high bar, but I didn't my thing is like, now that Star Wars is an established thing again, and we're kind of used to having it out every year, I don't think it's going to be as much of an event. As much as we're all looking forward to it, it's not going to be as much of an event as episode 7. What might give it legs, what might give it legs in the box office is the fact that Rian Johnson is directing it. And unlike J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson actually gives a shit about storytelling.
That was kind of harsh.
I know.
That was really harsh, Steve. You should apologize.
I'm sorry, JJ.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, I think you hurt JJ's feelings.
Okay, unlike J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson doesn't just tell stories that completely rely on nostalgia. All right? Is that better? Because, like, even J.J. Abrams' best movies, like Super 8, it's still just, like, Super 8 is basically Diet Coke Stranger Things. But anyways.
The point is, very different storytellers, but both good in their own ways.
Sure. But the point is, I think Rian Johnson is, like, he's gonna deliver a film that many people might want to, like, go back and watch 3, 4, 5 times to study it. You know what I mean?
Well, my point is, of course, I think in addition, the main reason I think it could surpass Force Awakens. Surpassing Force Awakens would put it like the number 2 or number 1 spot, quite possibly. Well, I'm saying like ideally, I'm optimistic. I'm hoping it's going to be number 1. I just want a Star Wars film to be number 1. Honestly, that's whatever. I want to beat those two James Cameron.
Freaking Fern Gully in space with blue Smurfs.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. This is going to be a funny, ridiculous story. My grandma and I were almost like we were placing bets. We weren't actually placing bets. It was almost like basically she was. When Force Awakens was coming out, again, like I was so hoping Force Awakens is going to top. She loves Avatar, there's no tomorrow, and I was like, I don't know. She loves Avatar.
Your grandmother might be one of the most passionate Avatar fans that I've heard of. Actually,
that's what I'm saying.
You told me this before.
She loves Avatar, and then because I think also she likes Ferngullies. I think she kind of likes those kind of.
I mean, they do go hand in hand.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's
what I like Ferngully too. I have nostalgia for Ferngully. Ferngully's awesome.
To be clear, he's talking about the original, not Ferngully 2, the other.
Well, yes, and I mean, Ferngully 1 isn't a great movie or anything, but, it's creative. It's got some fun bits in it. Anyway.
My point was Stan. I was really rooting for Star Wars just to knock Avatar off its perch, and then she was kind of gloating over, hey, look, Avatar, Star Wars did good, didn't pass Avatar.
That's great.
It's kind of like the old Stanley Bob Kane thing of like, hey, where's Spider-Man? Look who's raking down all the bucks now, of course, and Bob Kane never got to see Spider-Man making the theaters. Like, darn. Right. My point is, I think the big three things that are going to make Star Wars really raking the dough is going to be, of course, the Rian Johnson. In addition to Rian Johnson, the fact that, hey, we're doing the Empire Strikes Back, we're doing the next one. It's the sequel of, okay, you got a taste of what we're doing. Now here's the next chapter. It's kind of sequelitis sort of thing. Like everyone saw the first, now they got to see the second one.
Sure.
That mixed with, of course, Carrie Fisher's last film.
Of course. Yeah, you're right about that. The Carrie Fisher thing is a factor I wasn't thinking of.
And of course, we're finally going to see more with Luke Skywalker. So again, those kind of those are your 3 big factors on figure. I'm lumping in Rian Johnson just like the next movie.
All right, but let's transition away from Star Wars.
So the point is, we might see Star Wars. We might see Star Wars with either Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man, or Guardians of the Galaxy. 3 equally big films are going to attract large audiences, in which Star Wars, of course, would be.
But I mean, in terms of the Marvel trailers that we've gotten, just to get it back on track to Thor, Dragon, I mean, as much as I have liked the Guardians trailers that we've gotten, I think this Thor Ragnarok trailer like blows everything out of the water this year.
It was a very strong, and I love this. This is a teaser, and it's such an awesome teaser.
And it's what a teaser should be. It gives us just enough so that we're stoked, our appetite is wet, but we want more.
Yes. And I think you're absolutely right, Dave. It is very much in the vein of Guardians, and that's very appropriate because what we're doing here is Spider-Man is very sold on the visuals and teases of story because again, everyone loves Spider-Man. It's giving us a taste of like we're foaming at the mouth of okay, what's this Spider-Man going to be like? That's what it's.
Yeah,
Those
my
details.
opinion on Homecoming is kind of soured a little bit in the wake of that trailer, though. To
Okay,
tell you the
let's not
truth,
dwell on the negative.
I know, I know.
There's that, and then Guardians, of course, is going to be okay. You're going to get more of the same, but we're going to get some new humor in there. We're going to see some more cool characters. Basically, Guardians is more, Spider-Man is what, and this is just it's again this is tonally. This is a feel. This is a feel of what the next one's going to be, and that's what you want. You want to feel what it's going to be. You want to just kind of you're sucked into it. You're hyped up for it. It's like again, it's like what the first Guardians of the Galaxy teaser was, but for this year. And I think they run the money with that Guardians comparison for those reasons. Yeah. So on the whole, I mean, again, I think we're all very very hyped up for this.
Okay, so shall we go shot by shot then?
Yeah, sure. Let's go shot by shot.
So we start with the image of Thor falling down into the crevices.
And that's just cool. We're kind of going the Megamind approach here. So I don't mean it's just purely Megamind. I'm just saying Megamind was most many good films that kind of start in this route.
No, I mean you're right. It's definitely like I can see like it's funny because it's called Ragnarok, but I've never even thought about this before. But it seems like the first act of the movie is Ragnarok.
Yes, and I think that'd be real close. Now here's where most likely where he is, Tiki. This is hell, not that one. It's the Asgard. Remember the 9 realms?
Yeah.
One of the realms is hell, and that's where Hela dwells. This is like kind of her. This is kind of it's kind of where all the dead souls that. Well, you saw this in Hulk versus. Remember in Hulk versus Thor, where they tried. Bruce Banner went to his own personal heaven, that was in hell.
Oh yeah, sure.
Essentially, this is the same place you saw there, but it's a little more dour.
It's a little bit more like Lord of the Rings Moldor.
Essentially, I don't want to just dwell on like the interesting take we had in Hulk versus Thor. The point is we're in hell, one of the Asgardian dimensions where Hela dwells. The point is Thor is all chained up.
One of the things I love about the look of the trailer, though, is just the detail and all the sets and the costumes, and you can see that on the chains. You know what I mean? Like the chains look all rusty and war torn.
They're kind of hexagonal, which is cool. Right. You don't really see that with chains anymore. It's always I'm not just going to scrutinize every chain ever. I'm just saying like it's kind of like they look like real chains. So what's really cool about this structure before we get more of a glimpse at villain here. So again, the narration about his predicament, that's kind of the Megamind quantum. When you enter a movie, like there's a good chance we're going to approach this one of two ways. One, we open the movie like this, which would be cool. Of course, we have kind of a cool visual intro. It gets there, and then we basically it's kind of like our Ant-Man introduction. Basically we have kind of Michael Douglas thing go on, and then at the end, then we link up with our story. Basically, what the end of the Michael Douglas thing was, Thor being the process of him being chained up, and then like right before we start our story, it's like him saying, "You're wondering how this." I know this looks pretty bad. You're probably wondering how all this got started. Oh, it's a long story. So that could be a trailer thing, though. So that's the thing. We shouldn't absolutely put all of our bets on the movie opening that way. That would
be like an Iron Man 3 post-credits thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it seems like they might be going the Iron Man 3 approach, which I'd be cool with. But at the same time,
wouldn't it be great if it was like the reversal, where like he's talking to Tony Stark this time?
I don't think they're. That would be hilarious, though.
And Tony Stark's like, "How'd I get roped into this?"
We'll see. That'll be interesting to see. But because this one could be kind of a dark ending. I don't know.
Oh, that's sure.
So the point is that the narration thing again could be like a trailer thing playing on what we've seen in Iron Man 3. So maybe that's why they opened the trailer like that. So
okay,
it's kind of hard. It might be pure. Anyway, so we get a glimpse into an intro to our big villain, Hela.
Oh my God, Dragon! This one, I have more faith in this villain than I do in Michael Keaton. As much as I love Michael Keaton, I'm just skeptical about. We've gone over this before when we talked about the Homecoming trailer. I'm skeptical about the writing on his character, about the fact that he's more of a Tony Stark villain than he is a Spider-Man villain. Hela, on the other hand, I love the look. Is it just me, or does Cate Blanchett look like 10 years younger than she looked 10 years ago?
No, she just never really ages.
I know. Really. She's just got. It's funny.
It's kind of like Mary Steenburgen. Mary Steenburgen never ages either.
Well, one of Cate Blanchett's most memorable roles for me is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. And that, of course, that's all about like aging backwards. So it's just like, I don't know. She looks really, really good. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but she is really cool looking and very great representation of Hela, and you've seen a glimpse of Hela in that Thor versus and the Hulk versus Thor.
Sure, sure.
So again, you see how on the money is. Basically, she's only missing one thing, and they still homage it. So pretty much as faithful as a thing you can get to Hela.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really cool. I love this as our first introduction. This is like all we need in the teasers to set up. Okay, you want to. No one really knows what Ragnarok is. This sets it up. A lot of bad stuff's happened to Thor, and what's the worst thing that can happen? Hammer gets destroyed. And then we cue our awesome music choice.
Yeah, the hammer gets destroyed, and that could have honestly just been a 30-second teaser trailer right there.
I know, right? That's our Lightning McQueen getting into the car wreck. Right? Again, that's enough. But here, again, the hammer being smashed is a huge deal. This thing's like punched Hulk in the face, and it was fine.
Okay, the music choice here, Dragon, is from 1965's Led Zeppelin 3. It's called The Immigrant Song. It was the main single off that album.
Well, I'm not a huge rock and roll guy. I tell you, I do love this song.
Of course, I think one of the most memorable uses in pop culture
School of Rock.
School of Rock.
That's why I love that, because I think I first heard it at School of Rock, maybe.
Okay, this is still Hela, right?
Yeah, this is still her, and this is her in the headdress.
I love how Marvel's just embracing the crazy headgear in this movie.
Hold on to the shot here.
Okay.
So let me point this out. You're going to see it better in another shot in the trailer. But okay, basically, right here, this is like purely 100% Hela, because what they do is they don't have a mask on her, but what they do, and this is really clever, with the eyes and the way they shadow her, they put the mask on there. See, like she has like kind of a diagonal thing going. Like, the nose is exposed, but again, that is literally as faithful as you can with Hela. Because they had their bases covered either way, because there's some iterations of Hela without a mask, some with a mask. I'm just saying they kind of did both, and they did it in a great way.
Sure.
The point is, Hela is just so on the money; it's amazing.
And of course, this is all going to be like a great Act 1 battle sequence. This is going to be. This might be the most high stakes battle sequence in all of the MCU so far.
There's something important I should tell you about this. Okay, so Ragnarok. Ragnarok's kind of a hard thing to explain. Basically, what it boils down to is Ragnarok, quite literally, is the end of the world story for Thor. In history, in the actual, in Norse mythology, Ragnarok not only just translates to the end of the world, the death of gods. It is essentially these events, and with these events, I haven't read the comic of Ragnarok. I'm just saying it pretty much lines up with this, which is what we're seeing in this trailer. Is that basically in the history, the way it goes that. There are predictions of doom in the future, which we saw in Age of Ultron. Thor saw visions of Ragnarok in Age of Ultron.
Right.
There is a big battle, which this very much very coincides with, and then there's the death of gods. So some of our cuddly Asgardian characters might be getting killed off in this movie.
Yeah, we'll see. So
again, point is Ragnarok is a big deal. Like they always, especially again, and I don't mean to keep referencing. I'm saying it's kind of my main Thor kind of source is that. Again, Ragnarok is always talked about. I remember way back in the old days we had Ragnarok and the end times, and now the end times are coming back. There, it's always about preventing war. No, it's preventing Ragnarok as in another end of the world situation, which this is. Hell is bringing the end of the world. Mm-hmm. The bringing the end of the 9 realms, which starts here. Asgard. Now here we go. Now of course we start in kind of classic Thor movie kind of setup with all the Hela coming to Asgard. Asgard Asgard is dead, and oh god, such beautiful build for our villain. Then we're kind of breaching into our Guardians territory here, which is awesome. So Thor is captured.
Yes, it's so cool. It's just like the Thor Guardians crossover without the Guardians even being in it.
It's so great that we're kind of crossing over the 3 Marvel films. We're doing Thor, we're doing Guardians, and we're doing Doctor Strange. We're kind of
Doctor Strange. Yes, and that's not even getting into Hulk.
Oh yeah, it's so great. It's so great. Yes. So Thor here is captured by the Grandmaster's henchman, who is another famous Thor character, Valkyrie. Mm-hmm. Who was played by the actress from Creed.
Oh, okay. I love the character design. I love the masks. They kind of remind me of Shy Guys from Super Mario a little bit.
Yeah, but again, this is very kind of Guardians-esque kind of influence here.
Sure.
Because we're in space, we're in other planets, presumably.
Again, I love the detail on this weaponry on the net. The electric net.
Oh, yeah. And there's Valkyrie. And that's that mask shot I'm talking about here. This beautiful shot here, like the shades just about to cover her eyes here. And you say like, oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool because I can see what you mean about the makeup does very much like have a mask, like kind of like surreal quality to her face.
Again, she has that really pale face with like that
Uh-huh.
black kind of that mask covering the eyes thing. They still
Oh,
homage that
that's
while
really
still having.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a clever way of getting away with the whole the actors don't like to wear masks sort of things. Marvel's afraid of masks for some reason, but
All right,
yeah,
this is all goes by super quick, so I'm doing the best I can. But
sure. So the point is, Thor's in trouble here. He's being hauled away to essentially he's on Sakaar most likely. That's where he's being taken. So whether he's there yet or not, he could be on the ship. But he's being transported and prepared for the Sakaarian arena. Here.
okay.
Sakaar, by the way, that's where Planet Hulk takes place. That's the kind of the Roman Empire planet that the Hulk ends up on. It's called Sakaar.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, here we go. So Thor is being transported. He's been prepared for the arena. Most likely about to get a haircut. But and there we go. This Jeff. Now, you want me to explain who this guy is, don't you?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Okay, so I don't have to explain who is playing him because that's
of course.
Wonderful Jeff Goldblum. Well, I gotta tell you, I think it's very well cast, and he looks just like the guy brought from the page. Sometimes his face is a little bit more blue, but that doesn't matter. They still got some blue on there. But importantly,
all I know is that I see Goldblum in that crazy costume, and I'm just like, I love this guy already.
Now, Tiki, I'm going to ask you the obvious question: does he remind you of anyone?
He kind of reminds me of the Collector,
and that's for very good reason.
Okay,
let me tell you.
Okay.
So, Tiki, there's a big character in the Northeast. Now we all talk about the Watcher.
Yes, the Stanley.
Yes, and that'd be a great payoff. Again, we'll see how that goes. But the point is, Watcher is like one of those big old cosmic beings, one of the kind of like the Galactus level cosmic beings. The Watcher, he's always that kind of a passive guy. We also have a group of characters like those two characters called the Elders of the Universe. The Elders of the Universe, again, kind of these basically. The very simplistic way to describe this: these are guys who are like they work for the cosmic guys. They work close to the cosmic guys. They always seek cosmic connections. So again, like the Collector, he has his Infinity Stone. That's his cosmic connection. He has all these items that are kind of like transcendentally connected to kind of our big cosmic Galactus-like figures or our Thanos-like characters. And Goldblum here is the Grandmaster, and this guy, Grandmaster, is this. Again, essentially, he is I think he's a perfect idea for this film. This is a way you kind of do Planet Hulk without doing every single character from Planet Hulk. Uh-huh. Grandmaster, essentially, he's a gamesman. He's kind of he's the Roman guy giving the thumbs up and the thumbs down. He runs the arena. Grandmaster, he's very much like the Collector. He and the Collector know each other because they are both members of the Elders of the Universe. That's why they look so similar. Essentially, they know each other. They're buddies.
Okay.
Like they all work. There's like imagine like a criminal network where the Collector collects things and sells things in the black market. Grandmaster, he does that for people and makes them fight in arenas. So again, Sakaar definitely with the Grandmaster involved. He's kind of the ultimate fight promoter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in space. He's kind of the space fight promoter, and the Guardians have run into him a time or two. That's what the Grandmaster's role is. He sets up fights and kind of fan fulfilling fights. So Sakaar definitely feels in the Guardians vein, which is cool because of this, I gotta tell you.
Okay, nice.
So again, Goldblum is Grandmaster, really good. Of course, we got Heimdall coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the graphics. So again, Heimdall is looking awfully. He's looking awfully scruffy in the end times.
Yeah, sorry. Let me get a freeze frame of it.
Remember, Heimdall usually is like kind of the cool shaven head and everything, but look at how scruffy he is looking.
Yeah, right.
The end times will do that to you, and potentially he is going blind. Potentially.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm just saying, like some people theorize if the Bifrost gets destroyed, but then again, the Bifrost got destroyed at the end of Thor and he could see fine. So I'm not buying into that. I'm just saying a lot of people think maybe there's something up with his eyesight, but then again, his eyes are always kind of cool looking like that. So, well, the point is, Heimdall's off his game. And now this guy.
Yes.
So, oh boy, this guy is somewhat important.
Okay.
So he's played by Karl Urban, who, by the way, was my Batman choice.
Oh, Karl Urban. Okay, nice. I love me some Karl Urban.
Before the days of Affleck, he was my pick for Batman. Quite honestly, he was my pick. So Urban here, he's playing Scourge, or better known as the Executioner. The Executioner is usually paired with the Enchantress. And you remember the Enchantress, right?
Wait, not the Suicide Squad.
No, sorry. Yeah, Marvel and DC both have an Enchantress. Not Suicide Squad Enchantress. I'm speaking of the Hulk versus or the green the green spellcaster girl.
Vaguely.
One who worked with Loki. One who put the separated the Hulk from Bruce Banner. Who has a thing for Thor. She likes Thor.
Right. Okay.
The point is, like, everyone thought the Enchantress was going to be the next big bad guy, and the point is, usually she works with this guy as her muscle, and she enchants him.
Okay.
The point is, the Executioner, he's muscle. He's famous for wielding a giant axe. So if you see him with a giant axe, it's going to be a cool moment.
That's great. Okay.
It's always famous for. Again, Executioner, kind of the cutting off of the head, so he has like this huge honking axe. Again, maybe foreshadows the Enchantress for future films. We'll see. That could be an interesting thing. So that's another thing he might symbolize. Okay, we have big siege on Asgard going on here.
I love the costume design.
Yeah.
Oh my god. God, just Tom Hiddleston is just basically like posing for Bond in this shot.
Oh yeah, this is cool. And again, I like how we have a very streamlined costume look on Loki here, which I think looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of I like the fact we're still celebrating the helmet, but it's very streamlined. He has his knives, he has his cape, he has what makes him necessarily Loki. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if he's leading the siege on Asgard here.
I like how this is Loki's one shot in the trailer, but it's more than enough. It's just like, yeah, it's Loki. He's back. He's badass. You love him.
Well, he has two shots, actually.
This is his most prominent one.
You're right, though. You're right. This is the shot
for sure.
And then we have the Sakaar arena here. This is the Planet Hulk.
Here we go.
I gotta tell you, I like him with short hair. I think he looks cool with short hair.
I agree. I like the look. It's a nice way to visually distinct the movies apart too.
And he will be armed with swords. He's kind of pulling the Deadpool double sword look here. And then I love the incredible. But first of all, hold on this.
The helmet.
Oh, Teague, I gotta rap about the helmet for a second because oh boy, ever since the first Thor movie, let me tell you a little something. Ever since the first Thor movie, I got really excited. Thor walks in, he's got the old classic big old honking Jack Kirby. Looks great, looks amazing. And you'll notice, never see it again. And you know why? Because it got in the way during battle scenes. And, basically, at the time, I guess, when they were doing early in the Thor fighting stuff, they couldn't have him with the helmet on because it was cumbersome during battle. Whether I buy that or not, I won't get into that. The point is, they feared the helmet and they never brought it back in the other films because, again, I guess still the same problem. Now they found a way to kind of streamline that helmet, and again, in a very faithful looking way. So whether it's because it's streamlined or not, it looks great, and we brought the helmet back, and I'm very happy about that. I saw concept art of him wearing this helmet. I was wondering if that was like conceptual art, like, oh, it's cool, but we won't see it. But in this case,
also like how it very much fits into the MCU, kind of like the tech vibe of the MCU.
Yeah, because they both come down at the same time. Again, I love these streamlined helmets we're getting because again, we had the awesome helmets, which we had them, and we did more with Loki's than we do with Thor's, but still, we're getting kind of a cool representation of the helmet that's battle ready.
Right.
So really cool. They had me at the helmet, Tiki. I was like, yes, the helmet. How can it get any better?
Oh, how can it get any better?
Now we get two moments that make it a whole lot better. So first of all, the Incredible, and we don't even hear the Hulk, but we can see him for ourselves. And not only is it the Hulk, it's the Hulk in the Planet Hulk armor. Fan service.
As soon as I saw this, I was just like, yeah, that's pretty much perfect.
Yep. And by the way, before this movie comes out, we got to talk about Planet Hulk, the animated film.
Oh, sure. And also, Dragon, just a little bit of trivia for you. Is this the first time that the Hulk in universe is referred to as the Incredible Hulk?
Trying to think
because of course we had the movie.
That's what I'm trying to think of in the movie, The Incredible Hulk. I'm trying to think. I know they named him the Hulk in that. It might have. I don't know if they did like one of those things they've done in the MCU where it's like, oh boy, it was incredible, wasn't it?
I'm just saying, like, how cool would it be to have like the official moniker of the Incredible Hulk come from his Gladiator battles?
That'd be cool. I mean, I'm down for that. But again, I think someone's gonna have to do some digging to see if he's been called Incredible outside of a movie title.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. And then we have this one. This one steals the trailer. Here we go. The director,
it's just so fun. It just reminds me of the from the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, Drax, like, do me.
if
It's
we
just
ever,
like you just can't believe how much fun this looks like it is.
if we ever needed just like one image to summarize everyone's feelings after watching a Marvel film,
Well,
it,
most Marvel
oh come on,
films.
just go with me on the happy.
Okay.
Would you-
Okay.
If we just needed someone to summarize all the joy that the MCU brings, it would just be this shot. And the director has said, like, this film's definitely use Thor to a comedic. Like, Thor might be the funniest part of the movie. To an extent, where Thor,
it's funny because I feel like at this point, like if I were a betting man, I'd say Chris Hemsworth would probably be the most likely person from the original Avengers cast to stay on the longest at this point.
that's true. I would buy that.
And having said that, like with this trailer and this moment and everything, I'm totally fine with that because I think he fits the Thor role so well, and Thor is such, he's such like an ageless, fun character. I like, I'd be down to see Thor movies for years to come if they're going to do this kind of stuff with him.
Because I mean, look, folks, let's not forget. I mean, Thor 2, whether you like it or not, because of the villain. Again, Thor is the best part of that movie. He's awesome in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very entertaining, but very charismatic. He's acting the heck out of that movie. It's great.
Sure.
And of course, you get this is yes, and everyone's kind of doing a double take. Wait, but he's supposed to be wetting himself with fear right now. What's going on?
I love how upset Goldblum looks.
And then we have this great shot here. Getting very. And there's Loki. There's the other one.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it's just like that. Loki's on the couch, implying that they are working together, and they are kind of compadres in this. And it's most likely that Loki's kind of manipulating things just so you can see his brother go through a lot of torture.
He's a friend from work.
One of the best lines.
Hey, now, one of the things I want to point out about this Hulk, Dragon, oh my god, you can see the 5 o'clock shadow on him.
Yeah, well, yeah, man, he's been hulked out for days, if not weeks.
No. I understand the story context, but just the fact that you can see the detail of the 5 o'clock shadow.
Not only that, look, his face is painted.
Right. It looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course you can see like the Mark Ruffalo behind all that CGI as well.
Now holding that image. So another thing to point out here, because again, this might be editing trickery, I would imagine, because they want to give everything away in the trailer. It's not Spider-Man after all.
Sure.
Where they
it's not being edited by Sony.
My point is, seriously, Sony's really got to fire who puts together.
Right.
Think about the Ghostbusters fiasco.
Yeah, I know. We don't have to go back to the Ghostbusters.
I'm just saying, think about that. I was saying when you mentioned Spider-Man, just remind me. Yeah, you're right. It is Sony's fault. Say when you brought that up, it's like, yeah, he's right. It is Sony's fault. Anyway, but another thing here. So let's just say. In proper context, what this might be, this look here, they're editing it for comedic effect of, hey, he's a friend from work, and then HR's like, okay, not a friend from work, oh, come on. What it might be is this is like kind of the exchanging glances of like, hey, okay, let's work on a plan to get out of here.
Yeah, I could see that. He
doesn't really look like he's pissed off here. It looks more like...
No, you're right. Yeah.
Hulk's got his game face on versus...
Like I said, it looks very much like you can very much see the Ruffalo shining through in this Hulk.
Yeah, and again, that's something that's going to be. I like that they're obscuring that. We don't know how verbal this Hulk's going to be, and they teased it. They said they're not saying how verbal it's going to be. They said they've had conversations about it. They said they've had.
Man!
And they remember the directors said like it's a huge call to make how verbal the Hulk gets because they had to talk about this with all the big heads because again with the Avengers films how verbal the Hulk's going to be.
Of course.
Like, are we going to see the Hulk walking around casually indoors like he does sometimes? Are we going to see that? And Whedon was very anti that, but now Whedon's out of the equation. We'll see. So again, now they're charging at each other. Oh, come on! Then we get an awesome money shot at the end here. We get kind of a Rocky, kind of Apollo shot at the end of Rocky 3 here.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Right. Well, coming up here is like this punch right to the
shoot. Sorry. Well, hold on. Let's get to this.
There we go. That's
about as close as I'll get it.
That's what I'm saying. Is again like Superman flying right here, essentially. Stuck. Awesome.
Dragon, this is just something where it's like if you would have shown like 10-year-old me a screenshot of this and said like one day Thor is going to battle the Hulk in a movie and it's going to look like this, I'd have 3 questions. I'd be like, A, probably who is Thor, honestly. B, why is the Hulk in gladiator armor? And C, oh my god, how does it look so realistic? It's that's so cool. Oh my god. You know. But no, it's just like this is just like Marvel is just doing such a fantastic job of essentially just like, taking these characters.
My question probably would have been, how do we get in space?
Right. But taking these characters, putting them right into, right out of the page, doing the most elaborate comic booky stuff they can with them, and visually it just looks great. And I can't wait for this movie, and I'm dead convinced this is going to be the best MCU movie of the year. I mean, it's got stiff competition, but I think it's going to be the underdog that pulls through.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, this definitely is going to be a kind of a big. Again, I think at the end of the day, Star Wars is going to take all the money, but I think Marvel.
Oh yeah, no doubt, sure.
That's the thing. But again, I'm so darn impressed with Marvel because again, like they have three really big, heavy contenders this year, and again, each one of them. Bear in mind, again, one of them a technicality, but you know what I mean. Three Marvel branded or semi-branded properties. They're going to clean up. They're going to get a lot of money, but a lot of success, and it's a glorious era to live in. Let me speculate a little bit here, just very briefly. I don't really have a lot. Just two elements I want to talk about this stuff. So in the way it usually goes with Hell, and again, I keep pointing to because my favorite representation of Thor, I guess so far. I'm not a huge Thor guy. Mainly the movies have gotten me into Thor more. I know more than Thor than I did in 2011. Let's say.
Sure.
The point is, essentially, before 2011 with the Thor movie, I knew Thor from the Hulk versus Wolverine and Hulk versus Thor collected shorts. But in that, Hela is, for me, for the first time, was revealed to be, and in the comics, Hela is Loki's daughter.
Oh, okay.
So bear in mind, of course, look, I'm not saying it's beyond the realm of possibility. I don't think they're going that route, though. I'm just saying it's...
I kind of hope they don't go that route.
But here, I think, would be a nice compromise. You tell me what you think of this. So,
okay.
Because I don't think they've seeded the whole thing. Plus, he looks a little young, but at the same time, they're Asgardians, so they don't really age, so there's no rule on that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like she still looks older than he does. So it's...
But that's my point. But here's my theory. So I think the way they're going to go about it, I think the way it kind of still involves Loki. I doubt Hela will be Loki's daughter here, but I think Loki will be responsible for her escape, and Loki could trick Thor into this whole mess, and basically Thor kind of gets into the pickle of what unleashes Hela and what kind of leads into Sakaar and everything. I think Thor is going to be pursuing Loki at the beginning of this movie. That was going to bring him to New York.
Right.
And the reason they're going to be in New York, aside from finding Odin, I think what Loki's trick is going to be tantalizing Thor with information about Thanos. Because remember, Loki has worked with Thanos in the Avengers, and remember, Thor was on the path in Age of Ultron to find information on the Infinity Stones. What's going on with these things?
I wanted to talk about Odin just a little bit too, because we've seen some set photos of him in New York, basically running around as a crazy homeless guy.
I have not seen that.
I'm sorry if that spoils anything for you, but it's just kind of an interesting sort of I don't know.
All I can say is that sounds cool, and I like that. One fear I do have, just now now
I feel like I've said too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. But let's see. All I can say is based on that is I hope they don't go the Selvig route too much, because I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it does sound like a Selvig. Yeah.
With Anthony Hopkins, that man could read the phone book and make it Hamlet. So,
of course.
So let's see. So again, you see what I'm saying? Loki can tantalize Thor with something while they're searching for their father, which would which basically be Loki responsible for Hela being released.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just theorizing here. I think Loki's comeuppance. I think there's a fun comeuppance for Loki. What if Loki gets? I think Loki could either be imprisoned by the Grandmaster or better yet, the Collector, which would make for a fun cameo in Infinity War.
Oh, I'd love to see him be in the Collection. That'd be great.
The Collector's not going to be in Guardians 2, but we're going to need the Collector.
He is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout opening at Disney's California Adventure
on my birthday. So the point is, the Collector. The Collector has to be a fixture of Infinity War because remember, the
Oh, I'm
Collector
sure he will
has
be. Yeah.
a Thor tie-in actually to make it appropriate. The Collector has the ether, he has the reality gem,
Right. Right.
which means Thanos is going to be stopping by there. Imagine how funny this would be that if Loki ends up basically, what if
I could just see Loki and Howard the Duck just playing poker in the background.
well, maybe not poker, but definitely annoying each other. Like think about this.
You don't think Loki and Howard the Duck will get along?
I think they get along. Well, okay, well, fine. I think all right, they could get along. I imagine. Okay, I'm not sure about the poker, but you're kind of selling me on the poker on. So kind of selling me on.
All right.
My point is, let's just say, I think it's gonna either he's gonna be like come up and say, okay, well, now you're in Thor's position. Now you have to battle all these people, and you're ill equipped to battle them in the Grandmaster's Sicarian arena. Because he
kind of be like the Grimm's fairy tale route to take with it.
Exactly, because he had to deal with the Grandmaster, and let's just say the Grandmaster is now making Loki pay for whatever deception we're sure Loki's going to play on the Grandmaster.
Of course.
And if not, maybe the Grandmaster hands him off to his buddy, the Collector, and now he's just going to be stuck in the treasure room of the Collector. And then when Thanos stops by getting this thing, and like Loki's saying, "Hey, free me! I helped you with the invasion," just leaves him. He tries to talk his way out, and that'd be like a fun Whedon. I know Whedon's not involved, but it'd be a fun Whedon-esque kind of like cameo of Loki.
Right.
It was like Loki trying to trick his way out. And think about how great that'd be. That'd be a way of showing the menace of Thanos. Like, no, Thanos is smarter than the average bear. He's not going to let Loki out.
Yeah.
Anyways, those are my thoughts.
Whew, okay, Dragon. So, yeah, like I said, I can't wait for this movie. Great first trailer, and ooh, I don't know.
Well, one possibility we should again. Death of Gods is kind of the big event in Ragnarok. Asgardians could die. Do you think Thor might?
No, I don't necessarily think Thor's
I know we want him to be around, but do you think there's a chance of it? With contracts coming up?
No, I just don't think there's a chance.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm sorry. Just now, as I mentioned, that it has occurred to me. Well, of course, he's going to be in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Sorry.
There's a chance that Loki could die, though.
You know what? I don't think they're going to pull that trick twice because we faked his death in the second.
Technically, it'd be the third time they've pulled the Loki dead trick.
Oh, come on. The first one didn't. If you fall into a bottomless void, like the Red Skull's still alive. We haven't seen a body. Well, or a lack. You know what I mean? The Red Skull, again, if you it's like the Joker rule. If you don't see the dead, rotting corpse, he's alive.
Anyways. But yeah, very stoked, and I don't know, I'm kind of running out of batteries because of the physical condition I'm in, Dragon, but any cool parting last words to end this out on?
Yes!
I know him! He's a friend from work!